Good evening. I, Manoj from Cybersecurity, and my college is Marri Laxman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. And today I am going to discuss the topic is cloud computing. And what are the topics we have to cover on this session? Let us see the topics. Okay, so here we are going to cover the topics on this cloud computing are introduction to the cloud computing and how the cloud computing works, types of cloud computing and evolution of the cloud computing and types of cloud computing services. So first of all, we have to see what are the sessions we have to cover in these topics. So let us see the cloud computing. Cloud computing is nothing but it is a model of delivering the software, services and we have to say it is computing resources like storage, database and softwares over the network with the help of a demand process. So here, as per the definition of the cloud computing, it is a model of delivering the computer resources like storage, softwares and services over the internet. It allows user to access and store the information about without having to manage their own physical infrastructure or IT infrastructure. Okay, so here we can say cloud computing is nothing but a user can access easily anywhere in a geographical area of our files, and the files are going to store in the cloud ways. So let us take an example of that. Nowadays we are going to use the Google Drives. So the files are going to store in the Google Drives. The storage files are going to save in a network. So here we can say it is a cloud network. So without using any device to with us, we are going to use the network and we are going to access the files easily in a geographical area. Okay, the next one, let us see how cloud works. Okay, so based on that, cloud will be works on a infrastructure based or on demand process based or in a types of services based. So first of all, see what is infrastructure. The definition of infrastructure is cloud computing depends on remote network servers hosted on internet for storing, managing and processing of data. So here we can say it infrastructure is nothing but a storage of data. So everything will be stored over the remote area servers and easily we can access the data. Next one, on demand process. So on demand process definition is that user can access cloud services and resources based on demand. They can scale up and down the network with the using of physical hardware. So here we can say on demand process means whatever the services we have needed of the user easily accessed by the services on network. Okay, so here on demand is one of the main process to using in a cloud computing to access easily of our files. And types of services here the definition of the services here, the definition of the service of the cloud computing is we can easily scalability, reliability, accessibility. It reduce the capital expenditure, improve efficiency. So here we can say it is cloud computing will reduce the low cost and reliability, flexibility and availability of the services over the network. So easily we can access the services over the network based on the cloud computing. So depends upon this cloud computing, user can flexibly move anywhere and use the devices with the help of internet, and we are going to access the files with the help of an accessibilities. Okay, so this is the working of cloud computing. Now next we have to see the types of cloud computing. So here we are definitely say that there are consists of three types. One is public cloud, private cloud and hybrid cloud. So the differentiate between the public, private and hybrid cloud, first of all we have to see the public cloud definition. So here the cloud resources that are owned and operated by third party cloud service provider and terminated by the public clouds. The delivering of a cloud computing resources such as servers, softwares and storage over the network. Cloud, public cloud means each and every data will be available on a public, and the data is going to accessed and maintained by the third party. So here the public cloud will be accessible for every user over the network, but the drawback is that we cannot we cannot add a large amount of data on a public cloud. So that's why we are going to maintaining the private cloud. Means here the next one is private cloud. Here the private cloud computing resources that are exclusively used inside the single business or organization are terminated by the private cloud. So the private cloud may physically be located on a company on demand data center or hosted by the third party service provider. So here we can say it is, we can give the security of the private cloud, and large amount of data will be accessed by the public and private cloud based on that. So on demand process means on the premises, on the area of located places only the data is going to access by the users. So private code is secure compared to the public cloud. So next one is a hybrid crowd. So the combination of both public and private. So every organization or industry will be used this hybrid cloud, because each and every user is going to access it here simply and easily connected within all the service over the network. So these are the services which we have to use in cloud computing. So we can say it is a types of cloud computing. The next one is, we can say, evolution of cloud computing. Here evolution means history of the cloud computing. When we have the cloud computing service will be starts in 1950s onwards, the cloud computing service will be started. So the cloud computing first introduced in 1950s to describe internet based services. So who is the providers of the cloud computing? Mostly the cloud computing service will be provided by the companies are Amazon, Google and Microsoft. These are the three companies which we are going to use it. Now the services are going to give on a cloud based, means this Amazon, Google and Microsoft. Now see what are the evolutions models in this cloud computing. The first one is distributed computing. So here the distributed computing or distributed systems which we each and every, so first of all we have to see the definition of distributed systems. So here distributed system is a composition of multiple independent systems, but all of them are deputed as a single entity to the users. So the purpose of distributed system is to share resources and also use them effectively and efficiently. So the definition is saying that distributed system means each and every system has an individual privileges and individual resources. So each and every system on a geographical area is going to store some different types of data. So every system's data is going to collaborate in a single link, and that link is going to transfer into the distributed systems database. So here we can say it is a every system over the geographical area, the system is going to connected in a separate link on a distributed system, and it will use on a single unit. That unit we can say it is a distributed system. This is started in 1950s on the distributed systems. Next, the next coming up upon after the distributed system, that we can say it is a mainframes computing. Here the mainframes computing, the definition of mainframes computing, which first comes in existence of 1951. The highly powerful and reliable computer mechanisms, those are responsible for handling large amount of data and also massive input output operations. Even today those are used in bulk processing tasks such as online transactions, etc. So we can say online transactions. So mainframes, it is a large amount of data is going to transfer over the network. So with the help of a mainframes computing, it will use to transferring large amount of online transaction amount will be transferred over the network with the help of a mainframes computing. So here the advantage is that whenever we have to transferring a large amount of data, at the time we are going to use the services of mainframes computing. Okay, the next one is, we are going to say it is a cluster computing. Cluster computing, the definition of cluster computing is, in 1980s cluster computing comes as an alternative to the mainframes computer. Each machine in the cluster was connected to each other by a network with high bandwidth. There was very cheaper than those mainframe systems. So we can say it is a mainframe is then a high cost flexibility, and here the cluster computing is a low cost compared to the mainframes. So the cluster computing is nothing but a group of computers or group of servers will be connected in a dedicated link, that and the dedicated link with the help of a high bandwidth. So both dedicated link and high bandwidth will be used in a cluster computing. So here each and every system is easily accessed by the user over the network. So to overcome of this cluster computer, we can find out the next one is grid computing. Here the grid computing definition is that in 1990s the concept of grid computing was introduced. It means that different systems were placed at entire different geographical location, and those are were connecting with the internet. The systems belongs to different organization, and those are grid consists of heterogeneous nodes. So here grid is nothing but, if we are going to calculate like a distributed system, each and every system has a different operating system, different peripherals. Okay, so here the different operating systems are going to run and different files are going to use it with their own console. So the grid computing will be used to collaborate all the different computers in a one unit and to perform a single console operations. So we can take the example of online gaming. So online gaming, let us take an example of PUBG. So each user is going to creating a own console with a game, and another user is going to operate, another user is going to run the program on an operating system with the help of an PUBG. So here both are going to combine and to form in a one unit is called a grid computing. So grid computing can calculate both the systems in a single unit, in a dedicated unit, and transferring within a unique console process. So that we can say it is a grid computing. Okay, next one is virtualization. So you know that virtualization is nothing but one piece of unit or one piece of uh, physical layer is going to transfer into the n number of or multiple instance simultaneously on hardware. So let us see here. Virtualization is nothing but introduced in early 40s, and it refers to the process of creating a virtual layer for overall hardware, which allows the user to run multiple instances simultaneously over the hardware. Let us take, I want to take two systems, and two systems consist of two different operating systems, and two different operating system will be used to maintain process is going to difficult, and used to run the process is difficult. So that's why I am going to use the only one system with a virtualization process. Means virtualization means one system I have to use it, and in the one system I have to use operating systems like Windows and Linux are is going to run in a one system. So virtualization is used to form a multiple operating system in a one hardware device. Okay, so virtualization is completed. Next one is web 2.0. So it is a web based applications, so which are going to use in the cloud computing. So here web 2.0 is interface through which the cloud computing service interact with the client. It is because of web 2.0 that we have interact and dynamically web pages. It is also increased flexibility among web pages. So here web 2. Before web 2.0 we can use we can introduce web 1.0. So 1.0 only for read purpose only the web pages are going to perform. So here web 2.0 will be used to introduce a read and write purpose, and it will shows the data over the network on a remote servers, and also we have to retrieving the data from the remote servers. So these services will be used to maintaining the cloud computing. The next one is service orientation. Since the service orientation will be maintained by the quality of services among the cloud computing. So orientation means different organization will be maintaining the different models and different methods. Each and every method and model is going to collaborate and performing a one unit of dedicated link, that is called orientation of the cloud computing. So next one is utility computing. Let us see the definition. Utility computing is a computing model that define service provisionally techniques for service such as computer servers, along with the major service such as storage, infrastructure, etc., which is provisioned as pay per use basics. So here utility means everything is going to maintain by the providers on a cloud. So utility means we can store the data, we can retrieve the data over the cloud. So easily the utility maintaining basically on the cloud is very flexible and reliable to each and every user. Okay, so let us see the next one is types of cloud computing. Here first of all we have to see most of the users are going to access or transferring the data over the network with the help of an a services. So here there are three different types of services are there. IaaS, infrastructure as a service; PaaS, platform as a service; SaaS, software as a service. Okay, these are the three different types of services which are used by the cloud computing. This is going to provided by the three major companies that are Google, Infosys and Microsoft. Okay, these are three major companies are going to provide the service of IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. Okay, so one client is going to develop. Let us see that cloud computing major role is that one client is going to developing a web page. That web page is going to use for dynamic purpose and runtime purpose. Compulsory they are going to use to upload the web page on the remote servers. So the providers will be give the services of IaaS, PaaS and SaaS based services. So based on the your capability, based on your cost efficiency, we can you choose to upon three services. Okay, the first one is infrastructure as a services. So let us see here. The definition is in IaaS we can rent IT infrastructure like servers or virtual machines, storage, network, operating system from the cloud service vendors. We can create virtual machine running Windows, Linux and install anywhere uh, we want on it. So using IaaS, we don't need to care about the hardware and virtualization software. But other than that, we do have to manage everything else. Using IaaS, we get maximum flexibility, but still we need to put more effort on maintenance. So here IaaS, so on-demand process. If we are going to creating a new web pages or a runtime applications, compulsory we have to manage or maintaining all the services like hardware services, network devices, operating system, virtualization services and data application, everything on demand process we have to maintain it. But coming to the services, we are easily accessed on a cloud based. So infrastructure as a service only given the services like we can take the we can take the rent of the services like servers, virtual machine, storage, network and operating system. So remaining all are going to given or maintained by the vendors only. So here only infrastructure means we have to maintain all the hardware devices, applications and data from our side. Coming to the platform as a service, here only we are going to maintain application and data, remaining all are going to maintained by the providers only. Let us see the example here. This service provider on demand environment for developing, testing and delivering and managing software applications. The developer is responsible for applications and PaaS vendors providing the ability to deploy. Using PaaS, the flexibility get reduced, but the management of the environment is take care about the cloud vendors. So here we can say it is. So PaaS, based on the PaaS, we have easily access only maintained by the application and data. Remaining all are going to maintain by the vendors only, and the vendors is going to take care about the virtualization, software, operating system and remaining runtime applications and deployment operations also. So next one is software as a service. The last one is that software as a service, it provides the central host and managing software service to the end users. So everything is going to maintain by the vendors only. No need of managing or no need of worry about this any application or any software uh, equipments. So the deliver software over the network on demand and typically on a subscription basis. So Microsoft OneDrive, Dropbox, WordPress, Office 365 and Amazon Kindly. SaaS is usually maintain the operating cost and maximum extension. These are the services which we have to use in this cloud computing. So mostly each and every organization is based on their cost, based on the efficiency, reliability and accountability. They are going to use the services of these three. Okay, so depends upon their demand, depends upon their flexibility, they have to use the services. If they are going to use the service like IaaS, they have to use only for maintaining the hardware devices, application data. If they are going to use for only for PaaS, they are going to maintaining the application and data only. If they are going to use the service of SaaS, then no need of maintaining anything. So only for they are going to upload the data only. Remaining all are going to maintain by the service providers. That's all. Thank you.